Welcome to Late Night Light Code Dieter with Light Code Larry and his two other personalities, Light Code Lorenzo and Light Code Louie. Yeah, the light codes are out there. You know, I've noticed a few people that I know that really you wouldn't call them New Agers or, well, they're starseeds, but, you know, they're not really in the groups and in the pages and into the things that, you know, most people are that'll probably listen to this. But they're getting there, and they're really into taking pictures of light. They're starting to really notice this influx of light that's hitting the planet, you know, and it's starting to intrigue them. You're starting to see these lights everywhere. You know, the reflection, everything, the planet is raising in vibration. And so, this is, you know, I've been watching this kind of unfold since about 2011, late 2010. And, yeah, it really is, the planet is it's physically getting more vibrant. You know, subtly, right? It happens over time. Not that much time in the span of history, what you would think. I mean, 100 years is a blink of an eye, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's, we're gonna have to wait that long before we ascend. Maybe. I mean, ascension is a mental thing, really, too. It's not like you're gonna go to outer space, you know, but you can astral travel there. You can, there's all kinds of things the mind's capable of tapping into that I don't even have the words yet to explain. I'm sure smarter people than I do. I just don't. But I know that things are going to become more of a feel, more of a thought, more of a visual, right? More of a kind of just an all-knowing codes. You know, that'll be the future of learning for future generations. Plasma, wavy, you know, pictures with maybe a word on it, maybe just a sentence, maybe no words, just to get in tune with it for a few minutes. I wish that our schools and our societies would, like, let's experiment on the kids. I don't mean to put it that way, but maybe have them, I don't know, once a week suggest to them that they take 5 minutes and just really zone into a code or zone into some frequency pulse tones that resonate with them. Don't make them listen to any shit that they don't really, you know, they don't like, or it, you know, as long as it's okay with them and isn't fucking with them, that they don't, you know, don't, yeah, give it a chance, yeah, have them give it a chance for about 2 seconds. And they'll know by then they don't like it. And it ain't one of them things where, hey man, it gets better. It quits with the smoke alarm sound after a while. It sounds like the TV going off at 2 a.m. in 1988 or the early 90s, before the internet and before the onset of 1,000 cable channels. I mean, we had a few, you know, a lot, but I think we had 10. That was the big package, you know, when I was growing up here. 10 channels was it on cable TV. Of course, my aunt and uncle had a C-band satellite dish. You got shit from all over the world with that, but the TV was, yeah, there was no internet, nothing. Everything that was within your life was around, you know, I mean, there was nobody from all over the world that you were talking to unless you had a pen pal. Right? That was it. Yeah. So, 10 channels in cable were all we had. We had ESPN, Nickelodeon, MTV. That's the only kind of cable-y channels. The rest of them were the big networks, and PBS, of course. And, but one channel, we had an independent channel out of Portland and one out of San Francisco, California. Portland, Oregon. You know, so that was about it. I mean, you know, our only contact was with the outside world was the radio and MTV, you know, Nickelodeon, ESPN. That was it, you know, until we had a bigger cable system come in here about the time I was getting ready. You know, I was still had a couple years left in high school, but, you know, that was it. Yeah, 10 channels on, I mean, that's cable. I'm not talking with an antenna. And I know a lot of people grew up with, you know, maybe just a couple or no channels, but I mean, I'm talking the most you could get. That was it. I mean, you could get HBO and Showtime. That's true. But, you know, that was it for it. I mean, things have changed so much. It's weird. I feel like I've lived through, as a Blu-ray, I feel like I've lived through one ascension already, you know, coming up in that era. You know, with the internet not coming out until that following year after I got out of high school, it was around in its infancy. And I've told the story a million times. People probably heard it about, you know, it was real slow in the beginning, 28K dial-up, and you had to buy it by the hour. Like the first year, you had to buy it by the hour. We had it here with a local provider. And if you got bumped out, you could get bumped off real easily because the server would get full. And, you know, it was 28K. It was about a year before you could even attempt to listen to any music. It was a couple before you could attempt to, you know, watch any video on there. I think a couple years in, you could watch some real grainy shit. But then, you know, finally it came to fruition, right? Like everything does. But yeah, I remember people, the internet is going to be the end all of this society. You know, fuck, oh, that internet, I don't know. You know, ignorance, right? They don't know. You know, my grandmother was like, bless her soul, when she was still alive, she was like, oh, that internet, I don't know about that internet. Boy, that's just trouble. I'm like, yeah. But she was paranoid about everything like that, you know. It was just like, fuck. Oh, everything. God. But people were like that then, though, man. People have come a long way, really, even there's still a lot of lower density energy out there, man. There is. Believe me, you ever go to a social media platform called Scoops? I don't like to. I use it for the brand. That's it. Plus, it's easy to record music off there. They do have some cool features. But man, these people got to be putting me on, dude. A fist fight over a pepperoni at a Little Caesars. I mean, stupid shit like that. Somebody got one more pepperoni on their pizza than the other, and they got into it with each other. And fuck, come on, man. You know, that's the thing, though, about, like, you know, people trying to prove how tough they are and everything, right? I mean, what if you had to use your mind, though? What if you had to use your brain? I mean, we're all just, I mean, yeah, you could be a big physical fucking badass. I mean, you could be, you know, Tyson Fury, or, you know, Ali back in his day, or Tyson, or, you know, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. But your physical body only lasts so long. What would you do if you had to just use your mind? You know what I mean? In physical, there's always going to be somebody bigger and fucking badder than you out there. Seriously, man, you'll get older. I mean, it's just how it is. It's not eternal. It's a stupid proposition. I'm not saying don't learn how to do it to defend yourself. Oh, believe me, I'm all about that. To defend yourself and shit. But, or, you know, if you need it for police work and things like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's really lame, to be honest. Oh, I'm going to hit you. You hit me back. I'm going to hit you. We're going to hit each other. I mean, it's so, I see like the whole thing's primitive. I mean, the concept of it, I'm not even talking about, yeah, it's fucked up to fight and stupid and childish and all that, but the concept to me is really fucking crazy. I mean, really, these earthlings are weird, yo. I mean, straight up, it puzzles me. It really does. It puzzles me to no end, and not much puzzles me because I've seen quite a bit. But yeah, it's puzzling to no end. It's a macho thing. I get all that bullshit. I mean, it's just yeah, I know all that fucking shit. I mean, I'm talking on a deeper level. I mean, it's just beyond. It's lame. Really, I mean, yeah, I don't know. People just, they feel that aggression and that need, I guess, to go out there and, you know, hurt somebody. And they like to be hurt too. Believe me, I've known a lot of homeboys. I've dealt with a lot of people. I mean, they like it. They, you know, they don't mind losing the fight and getting their ass kicked. I mean, they like the thrill of it. And they'll tell you, 3 or 4 of my buddies would tell you, you know, from the old school, that their first favorite thing is kicking somebody's ass, but their second favorite thing actually is getting their ass kicked. That's how much you know, so it's, and toughness is really, yeah, it's really, it's just, I don't know, it's speculative. It's, yeah, it's really lame, and we should love each other too, you know, treat others like you want to be treated, the golden rule. And I got to thinking about lately that, because I've always believed in the golden rule and think it's great. I mean, if we all live by it, fuck yeah, it's so simple that most people don't get it. But I got to thinking that treat others as you want to be treated. A lot of us have we're not confident in ourselves. We're, maybe have some depression issues and just anger. We've had some fucked up shit happen, right? And so we feel like we need to be treated bad. So we treat, so we treat other people bad because we don't feel adequate enough, right? We feel like we have issues and we're hurting inside. And yeah, so that rule is, I got to thinking about how maybe there could be some, drawbacks to that rule in a third dimensional society, because people don't realize it, but a lot of people are in that mode where they want to be treated like shit. I know, they don't think they're good enough. I know, I've been there. I am there sometimes. So it's, but light is life, people talk about glare, reflection. Yeah, well, that's all life. That's showing, most of the time that's showing different dimensions. There's so many dimensions around us, and most of them are higher, and we can't hardly see into them, because I like the blue frequencies talked about the other night in a channel I did with him. You can only see when you're looking up into higher dimensions from where you're at. Yeah, some people are clairvoyant enough to can see all that shit a lot of times, but not all of it. It's faint at the same time. It bleeds in and out. So, but you can see lower dimensions easily, like into a first or a second density. It's hard to see a higher vibration. And it makes sense. They're going faster, going so fast you can't see them. Things get spinning so fast. Eventually, they become invisible. But that being said, I feel like the frequency has shifted, though. I feel like the frequency recently has just shifted to, we've been kind of in limbo. But now we're kind of at that next step. We're kind of getting to, some understanding as a society with each other, as a whole planet. And the real true beginning of greatness will come when you have a majority or close to a majority of the people on the planet that think that we are one planet and not just one nation. How ridiculous. Borders and when you think about it, I understand the economic impact. Okay, I get all that. I've analyzed that kind of shit for years. I know. Worked in it a little bit. I know that, right? But at the same time, you have to look at the fact that most people just want a better life, and they're not the problem. The people that you're seeing, they're not the problem. Okay, it's the system that's the problem. I guarantee you, if Mexicans look like Canadians, there wouldn't be all this fucking forever issue, and the fact that they speak a different language, and it's just racism, man, period. But I ain't gonna go off on that, but I'm telling you, we could never know it, but my suspicion is if they were Canadian, and people say, well, we've had friction with Canada. Yeah, little shit that we've started because of somebody's big mouth sometimes. But nothing like that. Fuck, come on. And what I don't get is their resources, people, and people don't realize this, their resources, they have the top 5 amount of natural resources for a nation on the fucking planet, right behind the there's the United States, and there's like 4 other countries ahead of them. One of them's the U.S. I'm sure one of the Scandinavian nations might be, who knows. But Mexico, yeah, and so there's no reason why they're not a powerhouse country, with a good economic system, and why we sure as hell go over to all these other countries we have over the years and tried to nation build. Why the fuck haven't we, for right reasons? Mexico should have a long time ago been thriving already. So, it's a control game. It really is. It's ridiculous, but we just gotta be good to one another, and it is what it is, but it exists out there. The racism exists, and I've been a minorities advocate my whole life, and awareness is power with it. You have to be aware. It's not something you should dwell on, white people, if you're all the time, but at the same time, know it and understand it. And understand that Yeah, you think it happened a long time ago. It wasn't that long ago, really. It's still in the innate DNA of the thought. I mean, Jesus Christ, can you imagine having to think about that? That your ancestors were genetically manipulated, they were raped, tortured, hacked up, chopped up, God knows what else, en masse, having their names taken away from them, right? Okay, their culture, pretty bad. And then you get people go, well, yeah, but some of their people sold them to us. Well, okay, so what? Does that mean, oh yeah, I could just see some guy in court who was trafficking little kids, some asshole. Oh, well, yeah, their parents sold them to me. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Okay. Oh, yeah, well, gee, that makes all the difference then. It makes all the difference in the world that their people I mean, they probably twisted and they probably really twisted our arms to do it, I'm sure. I mean, I've heard this kind of shit before. People really, oh, their people sold them. Well, okay, and what? And then what? Was there a big, I missed that part of the history class where they told us that a whole shitload of American colonists were threatened with their life if they didn't come over to Africa and buy these slaves. I mean, come on, man. Fuck. Oh, their people sold them. Well, yeah, the parents sold them to us. I mean, come. Yeah, I mean, that would be the same fucking kind of a thing. Actually, it'd be worse. It wouldn't be as bad for the kid thing because you're talking about one scenario at a time. I mean, this was fucking millions of people that had this shit done to them. I mean, yeah, but that's people, it's awakening, it's learning, it's understanding each other. And those people do that. Every race I've ever seen has millions of people in it, at least, billions probably. But people want to think that, oh, they're this way. They're that way. Well, they're usually there. Well, some of the things are cultural within them that they have similarities with each other, but they're all their own individual people too. It's not just that. I think a lot of white people really, and I'll say this, get caught up in this, thought that they're not individual people. It's just them of that skin color. It's not like, Joe White guy next door and, Susie Whitehead down the street. Yeah, they think that they're some kind of weird, like, not quite human. It's really a fucked up, scary thing, but people think that way with their undertones. And, yeah, that, not much frightens me because I've seen a lot of shit. I've been shot at and shit, but that does kind of alarm me a little bit that, because I know people exist out there that think that way about minorities and those Mexicans, they do this and they live this way and they do that way. And yeah. If you're dealing with a situation like that, why don't you look at the reasons why, the cultural reasons why, the shit that's been done to them. And I'm not saying somebody, people will go, they can't use that for an excuse. Well, no, they can't. It's not a fucking excuse though, moron. It's a reason. Hey, I mean, there's a reason why it happened. No, I'm not for anybody going all the time and going, hey, this happened to me, so I want this or that. I mean, that's generally not usually the case. And big fucking deal if it was. I mean, really, hey, let them get theirs. I don't know, but people are